This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so we're finishing up the semester, and we typically do this with inventories. And our objective always is to, if we buy inventory, have it, our objective is to make sure, to determine whether or not we made a profit on the sale of the items. It's simple when they all cost the same thing, but the items don't cost the same thing. So we use an inventory chart to keep track of them. So let's look at how we would work this problem on a FIFO basis. So we have, first of all, 10 units in inventory. The unit cost is $20 each. So those are the inventory. So we simply copy those and we put them in the inventory chart. Okay. Then we're told that we make two purchases. One, we purchased 10 pairs of shoes at 25. Then we purchased 10 pairs of shoes at 30. So we're going to go ahead and record 2 and 3 on those purchases. And we said the journal entries are standard. So whenever you're buying something, you're simply going to debit inventory and credit accounts payable. We don't pay the delivery person. Okay, so that's why we debit inventory and credit accounts payable. So when we buy the 10 at 25, well, how much are we going to debit inventory for? 250.
250.
Then we buy them for 30. What are we going to do?
300.
Debit inventory for 300 and credit accounts payable for 300. So those are the entries. Now we want to put these into the inventory chart because we have a lot of items. You know, it's easier if we understand if we keep it separated this way. So we got 10 at 25, so that's 250. Then we got 10 at 30, that's 300. And whenever we buy something, we take it over to the ending balance to show what we have. So this is how we stand now. Then what's our next transaction? We sell 25 pairs of shoes on account at 100. That's our key transaction, selling, not buying, but selling. So I think it's set on account, so we put A/R here. So if we sell 25 pairs of shoes for $100 each, how much money are we going to get?
2,500.
Okay, so we're going to get 2,500. So we're going to debit cash for 2,500. And we're going to credit sales for 2,500. And we're going to take this 2,500 to our T account for sales. We're going to put this credit in here for 2,500 because we build up the items here, because we might have 10 sales, then we're able to then pull those out. Now, whenever we sell something, what else do we have to do?
The cost of goods.
We got to make this entry, debiting cost of goods sold and crediting inventory. So we got to make that entry. This is where the chart comes into play. We're selling 25 items. Since it's FIFO, we're going to sell the old ones first. We're going to copy. We're going to put them in this middle column because that's where we put sales. So we sold that 10, then we're selling 10 more. We're only at 20, we sold 25, so we're going to get 5 more. We're going to get those 5 at 30. And so this is going to be what? $150. Then when we add all of these up, when we add them all up, we have sold how many? 10, 10, and 5. We've sold 25,000 pairs of shoes. But the cost of the shoes were what?
600.
600. How many pairs of shoes do we have left?
5, 30, 150.
So now we go up to our journal entry. And we put 600 right here. We debit cost of goods sold for 600, and we credit inventory for 600. Because we could have a lot of transactions, we go to the T account for cost of goods sold and put the debit of 600 here. Put credit here. And so then we add what's up here. We only have one set of numbers. So we bring up the 2,500. Because at the end of the day, how much did we sell? How much did we make on our sale? 2,500. What did they cost us? 600. So our gross profit is what? Are there any questions? Can everybody do that? Is there anybody who can't do that? Is there anybody who can't sell 25 pairs of shoes? Because you got to own 25 pairs of shoes in your lifetime.
Would that be the same for Lifo?
No.
Or like a different order?
Yep. Let's move on to Lifo.
The same process would be the same way, just in a different order.
Well, let's go to Lifo first. So first of all, as I told you before, the purchase journal entry is going to stay the same. And that's going to be the same whether it's Lifo, FIFO, or weighted average. I could have put these in too. So nothing changes. then the sales journal entries stay the same. So the only thing that is going to change with Lifo is this COGS number. And let's look at why it's going to change. So right now, we can take what's in the Fifo inventory chart. So we can copy it, and we can take it to the Lifo inventory chart. Okay. So the original amount, and then the two purchases. But when we sell on the Lifo, we sell on the last ones first. So when we get ready to do cost of goods sold, we go to the bottom. Copy. Then we're going to sell the next set on the bottom. Copy. So we're reversing where we're coming from. And so now the last unit sold are going to be these 5 at 20 or 100. So we're simply reversing order.
You niggas must have did some updates on this GoToMeeting shit, because this shit did not used to look like this.
Hey man, we can hear that.
People talking, goodness. Okay, so when we do Lifo, the last ones are sold, we simply sell the last ones first. So we just reverse where we're counting from. And now, so when we add these up, our total is what?
Our total would be 650.
650. Still 25 items, so at 650. And so when we go to our journal, instead of 600 being in the entry, it's 650. Then we're going to go to cost of goods sold, but it's cost of goods sold for Lifo. Okay. Then we're going to get our 650. And we're going to put 650 here. And so what's our gross profit? You notice that gross profit is going to go down, correct?
My bad. Gross profit is 1,805.50. Sorry.
So when prices are rising and we sell the latest inventory, then we're going to have a smaller gross profit. So a lot of companies like to use Lifo because it reduces their taxes. Okay. So that's Lifo. Let's go on the weighted average. On the weighted average, all of it stays the same. The only thing that's going to change is cost of goods sold.
How's that coming along?
Because I just can't get the bottom to get up there, even if it's saying it really like the
Can't hear
visual, it's just like right there.
Right there. Okay. Yeah, we definitely gonna need to delete the lines.
Okay. So we're gonna go to our inventory chart on the weighted average for our 8 students who love a challenge. And we can take these same numbers and copy them. And we can go to the weighted average chart and paste them. Okay. Now, when we do weighted average, and we have to sell 25 units, it might be a little easier. We're going to strike the unit cost. We don't use the first ones. We don't use the last ones. We calculate a weighted average. How do we calculate a weighted average? We add up the quantities, 10, 10, 10, 30. Then we add up the costs, 300, 250, 200, 750. We then simply divide the total cost, 750, by the quantity. And if we divide it, what number are we going to get here? If we divide 750 by 30, what number are we going to get?
I got 25.
Good number. So when we sell the 25, we just simply use 25. We don't use the numbers at the top. We don't use the number at the bottom. We utilize our new unit cost, which is a weighted average. So 25 times 25 is what? So that's 625.
Yes.
And we have what left? We got 5 left at 25, or 125. So to a certain extent, weighted average is easier. Now let's take out 625. We're going to put that here. And then we're going to come in. So in this entry now, it's 625. So that chart is always giving us the entry 625. And because it's a weighted average, when you're doing all 3, the weighted average should be between Fifo and Lifo. One way or the other. It's got it. If prices are going up, it's going to be here. You know, it's going to be in here. It's going to be between it. If prices go down, same thing. And so our profit on the weighted average is going to be what? Just 1875. So notice
You're
that.
right. Oh, sorry.
What?
I say yes, you're right. My
So,
bad.
so it's always, the weighted average is always between Fifo and Lifo. So that if that's not the case, then you know you may have made a mistake. So there are 3 inventory methods. All the journal entries are the same except cost of goods sold. If you're using Fifo, you sell the first ones. If you're using Lifo, you sell the last ones. If you're using weighted average, you use the weighted average. Now on weighted average, we have to always go through and change out the average when we buy some more, so you get a new weighted average. So this is how this looks now. But your job is, let's pick up 4 and 5. So for the C students, you're going to add 4 and 5 to what we've done so far and come up with another FIFO gross profit. Then the B students are going to pick up 4 and 5 and come up with a LIFO, a new LIFO total. And then my A students, they're going to knock it all out. They're going to pick up these next 2, and they're going to come up with a new weighted average gross profit after that, those next 2 transactions. So does everybody see what we're doing? We're going on with the problem now, doing the next 2. We're doing them on the FIFO.
And where do I find this at in assignments?
It's not an assignment. I just created it for you all here. So can you see it, take a picture of it? Or do I need to put it?
I can screenshot it right now.
Okay. So the template and everything is in assignment. We're just changing the numbers and we're making them simpler. So hopefully that's going to be a help. So I'm going to give you all about 15 minutes. So you're updating your numbers, okay? So you know that all of these numbers are going to change based on the updates. Okay? So I want some new FIFO, LIFO, and weighted averages based on 5 transactions. Can I get that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Jennifer says we can. We go bold strikes today, all strikes today.
You're funny.
Gotta have some fun with this now. So let's be finished with this at 3:30. So you just be finishing your portion, whatever it is, but it should not take you that much long. We set it up and we started it.
Also, Professor Void, for the inventory quiz last week, I wasn't able to upload it, so I had to email it to you. You haven't got back with me yet. I was wondering, did you get it? Professor Boyd.
Professor Boy.
Yes.
So for the second part, for the weighted age, oh, for the last part, I'm getting a decimal. Do I round to the whole number, or do I leave the decimal?
Go to 2 decimal places.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
Okay.
Professor, I have a question about the weighted average as well.
Yes.
So, to find the weighted average, it's the sum of the total over the sum of the quantity, basically. Like, it's like the total divided by the quantity, and then you
Correct.
get the unit, right? The unit cost. So
Hmm.
since there's technically two equations that we had to do, because there's two ones that that are selling, do we do it twice and then we add it up, or
I'm not sure what you're saying.
I don't know either. Hold up. Let me try to see if I could say it better. Okay. So
Let's just look at the
the
chart.
unit cost
You had a purchase
Right.
of how many? The new purchase.
The new purchase is sorry, I just wrote it down.
40 and 800.
It's 800.
Forty at 40.
20,
20.
40.
Oh, wait a minute. Excuse me.
Oh,
20,
and then you use, oh, never mind. Okay. I see it now. Okay. And
So
then
this
800.
becomes for 800, and now you see it.
Yes. So then now I use, okay, then I use that 531.50 with the 800. Okay, right?
Right. Wait a minute. I'm
So,
on the wrong.
okay,
Wait a minute. I'm on the wrong one. Well, I guess that's the
okay.
same for all of them, though. 20, 40,
80.
and 800. Let's go to weighted average. So we got 20, 40, and 800.
Mm-hmm.
That's normal. Right.
So it's,
Okay, but when we do this, then all of this is gone. Okay. So I got to get a new weighted average. We got 25 in there,
mm-hmm.
and our cost is what? 925.
Yes.
So what's our new weighted average?
37.
37.
37.
And then, okay. I think I got it now. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Professor, can you slide down to the page that we were just on, the flow chart for weighted average? Wait, thank you.
Okay. Okay, for my C students, what's my gross profit on the FIFO? So just the C students. What is the gross profit on the FIFO? Well, let's see how we will calculate it. We purchased 20 more pairs of shoes at $40 each. So that's how much we're buying, what, 800? So we're gonna debit inventory for 800. We're gonna credit accounts payable for 800. And that's gonna go all the way across.
Professor Boyd, why is that going all the way across?
Because it goes all the way across because a company can use FIFO, they can use Lifo, or they can use weighted average. The only journal entry that is going to change is going to be the COGS journal entry. So no matter what method you're using, see, some companies use FIFO, some use LIFO, some use weighted average. It only impacts cost of goods sold and eventually your gross profit. You're still selling the shoes, you're just using a different costing method. So we sold how many? 20 at 1,000. So how much money are we getting? That $2,000?
2,000.
So I'm just showing you and working the problem. Really not that much that you're doing because you're only changing one number and working the problem. So let's go. I think we have it in. We have our new 20 in here at 40 for 800. So we copy them and we paste them over here. So we got 5 at 30 and 20 at 400. And we sell how many? How many do we sell?
You're only selling 20.
We're only selling 20.
20. So what's going to be the cost of the 20 on the FIFO? We first of all going to sell the old 5. Then we're going to come in here and get these. But how many do we need to get?
15
We need
out
to
of,
get 15 because the total sold is 20.
but so wouldn't that not be 800? Wouldn't that be 750?
Wait a minute. We're getting 15, so it would be 600, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, sorry. I was looking at the wrong thing. I was looking at the final number.
Yeah. So thank you, though. So our cost of goods sold on this transaction is $750. And how many do we have left now?
It would be 540, 200.
5 left.
So now we're going to take the 2,000 and the 750, and we're going to put them in the T account. So 2,000 here, 750 here. Then we total them out. So 4,500 comes our sales, and our cost of goods sold becomes what? 1,350. So 4,500 and 1,350 are our numbers on the FIFO. So with 2 sales, this number is now 4,500. COGS is 1,350. So what's our gross profit now after beginning inventory all the way through 5? What's our gross profit?
3150.
Now this sales number is going to stay the same. So we can copy it, and it's going to be the same on all methods. Now let's go to Lifo, where all we're trying to do, what was our number here for 750? So we're trying to see what's the change in COGS now if we go to Lifo. So let's see if we can do that. So going to the Lifo table, we're going to copy that purchase. We're going to put it on the Lifo table. And on the Lifo, how many did we have left when we did Lifo? Then we have 5 left.
Yeah, we had 5. It was like 520, 100 or something like that. Yeah, 520, 100.
100. So now when we sell 20, what we're going to do? We're going to sell the last ones we bought. And those 5, those old ones are going to still be there. 5, 20. So that's what begins to happen. The older costs just continue to stay there because we're using the newer costs. And so the 800 then comes in the journal entry for Lifo. The only thing changing is COGS. Now, when we go down to the T chart, for Lifo, we put in the 800. So how much do we have now? Cost of goods sold, $14.50. So this number now becomes $14.50. So what's our gross profit on the Lifo now?
3,050.
So with the rising prices, Lifo is always going to have a higher cost of goods sold and a lower profit. Now we need to go to weighted average. And the only thing we're changing is this number here. So we go to weighted average, and we got a new weighted average of 37. So when we sell the 20, what's going to happen?
It's gonna be 20, 37, 9,020.
Not now.
Oh
How
wait,
many?
I'm sorry. I meant 800. No, wait, I'm looking at the wrong number. 740. It's 740. I keep looking at the wrong number, but I have it boxed, so I'm stupid.
Okay, so then we still going to have 5 left, but they're going to be in here what? At 37. So that's going to give us how much left in here? 185. Is that right?
Yes, that's what I got.
So here's our 740. So in completing the journal entries, 740. Then we go back to that T account and we put a 740 in here. So then our total on the weighted average is going to be what? 1365.
Sir. Yes, sir.
So then we're going to take the 1365. Because at the end of the day, this is what we're looking for. So what's our gross profit on the weighted average?
3,135.
So notice it's once again between, because it's an average, it's going to be between FIFO and LIFO. Are there any questions? No questions, huh?
I had a question about the final.
What's your question about the final?
So on the final, the only thing that we're doing that's multiple choice would be cash flow, FIFO, LIFO, and is that it? Just those 4 things with those multiple choice questions?
Say that again. You're doing everything from the beginning of the course.
Oh, I don't see it. Okay.
You got to
yeah,
be
okay.
able to make journal entries, do this inventory, and incorporate that in. Post to the ledger, do a trial balance, do financial statements, do closing entries, and your financial statements this time will include the cash flow statement. So that's why you have to practice problems so you can see exactly what your files are going to look like. I'll just be changing numbers. So that's why we're working the practice problem next time. So you'll understand exactly what's going to be on there. And you're working it in preparation because you got to take the final.
I thought A students didn't have to take the final.
We missed the third exam.
Okay.
The types of things you would have to have done to do that.
Okay.
So, you know, we missed the third exam, so that just knocked out a lot of things. We would have already tested on statement of cash flow and things like that. So what I decided to do was I wouldn't put in an exam as some people did, but I just put in some short exercises like we're getting ready to have. Then let you share those in. Okay, so let's look at our homework quiz problem. Let's assume that we have 100 units in here.
Wait, we got homework?
So what?
We got homework?
Homework quiz. Do it the next time.
Okay. Sorry.
Then we're about 330. And we sell. Okay, so this problem will also be due on next class period. So we're looking at FIFO, LIFO, and weighted average. So I've just changed the assumptions. So now you're going to go through and see, we have extra time, we'd have about 25 transactions, but because it's compressed, we're doing fewer transactions. But we're trying to make sure you got that basic understanding. And of course, we got to look at the theoretical framework and everything. So does everyone have this? Wow. I'll put it in assignments.
So to be clear, you want us to turn this in before class on Thursday?
Correct.
All right, just.
Cool beans.
So this is
Inventory. Thursday, right?
What?
Is this the one we did last Thursday?
Well, we weren't doing so well last Thursday, so.
But like this time you want FIFO, LIFO, and the weighted average.
Yeah, but if you just do what you can.
Okay.
Basing it on what type of student you're planning on being.
Now, if I am a B student, but can I just be an A student? Because low-key, I'm not gonna lie to you, bowling kind of effed up my grade last semester. Because if you look at the second semester, I was killing it. So I don't know what to say. I don't know.
There'll be an A student exam, a B student exam, and a C student exam. And that A student exam, well, just saying, it's going to involve more than, what we see there. So the C student exam might be down a notch. The B student exam will be what we have there, and the A student exam will be up a notch. Okay?
Oh, okay. I see.
But you can always make a request that you want to do an A exam, assuming, you got the grades for it. If you don't have it, then no. But I'll be looking at everybody who had a midterm, and so you get an A exam. So screens will be on as we perform. If your screen not on, you don't get any grade next time. So make sure you making plans, have your screen on, and you do your assignment. Does everybody have an assignment for next time? Everybody on here, does everybody have an assignment? Anybody don't have an assignment? Okay.
When
So
I have an
assignment?
assignment